As always, I'm doing this on my own time with my own resources. I say that especially today because I'm going to be talking about what happened with the election on Saturday, and I'm speaking as an individual. I'm not speaking in my official capacity. As many of you have heard from the tribal communications, at the end of the election on Saturday, we thought we had the correct number of ballots counted. A test that the election board has created to double check stuff came back from the contractor showing that 44 ballots were missing. It turns out those 44 ballots were at all times in the possession of the election contractor that we use. What happens is when you send a mail-in ballot in, they register that the ballot has come in, and then they put it in a safe deposit box for safekeeping so that it's locked up. In this case, when they got the ballots ready to bring them down, they somehow missed 44 ballots at the back of the safe deposit box when they were pulling the ballots out, and then they locked the box and they were left in there. The test that our election board has created that tells them whether or not all the ballots have been counted, which basically says, here's the ones that have been, here's the number that we should have for that came in mail, here's the ones we have for people who were in, brought them in and dropped them off or voted in person. That test did not match the number that was counted on Saturday. That's how they found out that there was an issue. Although the election board had been asking for that number from Saturday, they did not get it till Sunday, at which point they realized that there was an issue. In talking to the contractor, they then discovered that the contractor had the ballots the whole time. Let's talk a little bit about the procedures that are used in the election. In the election, no CALETS member touches the ballots from the time you drop your ballot in the mail or the time that you drop it off for voting in person until after. In fact, they don't touch it at all, even after the count is done. So what happens is that the contracting staff is the one that does all the touching of the ballots. If there's an issue with the ballot or a question, they hold it up for the election board to adjudicate, and the election board makes their decision. But it's staff for the contractor that is in possession of the ballots. When the election is done, the ballots are put in a box. That box is secured with tape, and across the tape and onto the cardboard of the box, signatures of both the contractor that we've hired and signatures from our election board are put on. So there are multiple signatures. If that tape is disturbed, those signatures are destroyed so that we know that the box has been tampered with. In this case, the box had not been tampered with. If you watch the video, you can clearly see the signatures are still there when they opened it back up Tuesday. The election board met last night on Tuesday to figure out what's going on and to adjudicate the 44 ballots that were in the possession of the contractor. That has now happened. The actual results of the election did not change, but the vote totals changed some. The same 6 that were announced on Saturday are still the announced winners for tribal council, and the 2 constitutional amendments still went down, but now the amount of ballots we have matches the checksum test that was run by the election board. And I will say, run on behalf of the election board. I will say for a minute, I'm kind of proud of the election board. They've created these tests in these ways in order to make sure that we have ballot integrity all the way down the line. They've created a procedure book that they use since they were created, and this has really been helpful for us in elections. And while I don't like the situation that happened, the error was strictly on our contractor. It was not on our staff at the tribe or on our election board or any tribal members, and it is now resolved. Anyway, those are my thoughts today. Thanks. Bye.